wearing a suit. As only goodwill can provide. Well, good evening. And welcome to Knopp Bookstore and Cafe, the finest independent bookstore in the South. My name is Brian Lee Knopp, and I'm your host this evening, and your guest. And before we start with tonight's author event with local author Brian Lee Knopp, there's some upcoming events that you all should know about. And the first one, I'm very proud to announce, is Mickey Mahaffey will be reading from his memoir, Whispers of My Blood. And that's an author event on September 10th. That's Friday at 7 p.m. And Nick will be recounting his experience living among the Tarahumara Indians down in the Copper Canyon area of Mexico. And those of you who may know Nick, none of the following will be a surprise, but if you don't, he's one of the most fascinating individuals you ever hope to meet. And he was a former Asheville mayoral candidate. He is a wilderness guide and philosopher king, and quite a courageous advocate for the homeless. So I hope you can make his event. The next author event of note is Sarah Gruen. She'll be reading from her latest novel, 8 House, and that's Saturday, September 11th at 7 p.m. Let me adjust this. Okay. Well, tonight's featured author was a legal support investigator here in Western North Carolina for over 20 years. He's an avid outdoorsman, an adventure advocate, as well as an endurance athlete. He was a former licensed private investigator for 8 years. Was a professional sheep shearer with a master's degree in English literature from the University of Texas at Austin. Both for work and for play, he has traveled extensively throughout the Southern Appalachian region. Brian Lee Knopp's memoir, Mayhem in Mayberry, Misadventures of a PI in Southern Appalachia, has been on Malaprop's top 10 bestseller list non-stop since it first hit the shelves August 25th. August 25th, 2009. Mayhem has been the #1 best-selling book at Malaprop for 19 weeks and was the store's best-selling nonfiction paperback for 2009. The Rapid River Arts magazine chose Mayhem as its favorite nonfiction book for 2009. And the Southern Independent Booksellers Alliance placed Mayhem on its long list for best nonfiction work for the past year. But all of that happened to Mayhem because folks like you made it happen. And I see some questioning faces like, what's up with all this Brian Lee Knopp stuff? Because I'm Brian Lee Knopp. I'm introducing myself. Well, I'll tell you. Over the past year, I learned some things. And I learned them the hard way, as only children and animals and liberal arts graduates can never learn the big lessons of life. And one of the lessons I learned was this. Don, if you want to make it big, you better learn to talk about yourself in the third person. And this is what literary agents demand. talk about yourself as if you were a totally other person who you know quite well and who you want to shamelessly promote at every given opportunity. And I mean, the sky is the limit on just how big you can inflate the ego of this other person. I mean, hell, you can wind up with something towering and unwieldy, you know, like one of those Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloons. And, but it's a useful skill, really, because even the most robust megalomaniac eventually tires of using the word I and me all the time. So, without any further ado, please give an over-the-top extra welcome to local author Brian Lee Knopp. Welcome back. To Knopp Bookstore and Cafe. And before we start tonight's author event, I'd like to do a few shout-outs to some folks. First of all, I'd like to thank Odin, and Todd Creek, and Lauren Coates for bringing Odin. That, you probably made the connection, that is the cover dog. And he just hasn't worked on the whole third-person thing. And I want to give a shout-out to my cat women, Monica Nolan and Cindy Norris.